Well, howdy, kids. Welcome to SlapperCast, episode...
This is episode 309 of SlapperCast, y'all.
309, correct.
I'm Chad, this is Turbo, and here's Patrick.
Wait, which way am I? Hold on. Do I got it the right direction?
I don't know.
We're coming from you live today from a crematorium. No, we're not. Where are we coming from? We're all scattered today as we've just spent way too much time together. So we're going to do this properly. We're going to do this away so we don't get into any, let's say, scuffles or kerscuffles. We're going to, today we're going to be discussing many topics about nothing, about zero. So we are, we had a very wonderful show last weekend at the Continental Club in sunny old Houston, Texas, 3700 Main. That's in downtown, in Midtown Houston. And we had Frank and Jeff with us, and a lot of fun. Tried some new stuff. Had some good crack with that. And then, so of course, we're still getting over the Arizona trip. Some of us got a little bit too sick, we'll call it, a little ill, and we hope they're doing better and regain all their redness quickly. So, lads, chime in. What are you thinking? What's happening? What's happening over there?
All right, So Patrick is not with us today because he has no computer, so he can't jump on. We were hoping maybe we could do it. He could do it from his phone, but Zencastr, the app that we use, is not Android friendly yet. So it's just Turbo and I at the moment. Although Patrick is going to send us a message separately.
Just incidentally, for those people that are signing up on our trip to Ireland in October, we've already booked the Old Oak in Cork, which is a favorite of ours. And also for next month, we're going up to Weston, Missouri. I don't know if you want to take some time off that or jump in the van. We are going up for Friday, Saturday, and now as of today, just added barleycorns in Wichita, John Barleycorns in Wichita, Kansas. So going to have some fun up there. So that's all the news out of the way. So lads, I was going to ask you a question. I was going to ask you the question that's been eating me alive is, when was the last time that you changed your mind about something? When was the last time that you said, something, complete 180 from that? So that's a question for you. So I'll wait, please.
Okay, so I kind of had to rack my brain to answer this question. When was the last time I changed my mind?
Please.
And I think it was when I went to go see this Bob Dylan biopic, A Complete Unknown. I had seen a clip from it, a promotional clip. It was like a whole scene that they put out where he's in his apartment with Joan Baez, and they wind up singing. It's blowing. Yeah, they sing "Blowing in the Wind" together, and he had just written the song. I thought they sang it well, but I just didn't think. I didn't think that his performance of Bob and the regular dialogue, I didn't think it was very good. It just felt like he was putting on a voice, like he was just trying too hard to sound like Dylan. Then I started seeing all these really positive reviews of the film, and I realized, well, maybe I should go see this movie. And boy, yeah, I was wrong. Not only is Timothée Chalamet excellent in the role, but the movie is fantastic, and it's quite possibly the best music biopic I've ever seen. And I really do think that this movie is going to change lives if it has the power to stimulate the imagination of a very middle-aged cynical musician like myself. I can't remember the last time. I mean, there's very few music biopics that I think are worth a shit. And James Mangold, who directed this, also did Walk the Line, the Johnny Cash biopic with Joaquin Phoenix. I thought that was okay. I really didn't think Joaquin looked or sounded anything like Johnny, but mostly the biopics are just generally really overly dramatized, and they just in general don't do a really good job of depicting what it's like being a musician and what it's like to write music. There was a really good one about Brian Wilson. Yeah, a biopic about Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys called Love and Mercy. Paul Dano played the younger version of Brian in that, and John Cusack played the older version. That one is pretty good, I have to say. But it is a bit fractured. It's a great movie, but it's a little bit. Now he's young. Now he's older. Now he's young again. Now he's older. It was a little disorienting. A Complete Unknown, the new Dylan movie, is very focused on a specific period of Dylan's life, and they do a great job with it. But the thing that really makes the movie shine is the fact that all the actors who are playing the musicians, including Timothy, they're all singing and playing their instruments and live. I mean, to the camera. They're not lip syncing in the film, and that's one of the things that makes the movie so amazing. I wasn't really thinking about that as I was watching it. I was just thinking, like, this feels really authentic and real. And it made me want to go home and pick up my guitar, which I did. And I've conferred with other musician friends online that it had the same effect on them. And this makes me really happy that because I know from seeing the film, I'm not the hugest Dylan nerd in the world. I do have, I do own a lot of his stuff, but I've never been like a Dylanologist, or I'm way more into the Beatles, for example, than I am any other artist. And Talking Heads, David Bowie, for example, those are my big three. Peter Gabriel used to be in that higher echelon. I still really love him, but I kind of lost interest in his work after a certain point. Bowie, I pretty much love almost everything that he ever did. Beatles, of course, everything. Dylan, I'm kind of similar to Peter Gabriel in the sense that I really kind of prefer his early stuff. But having said that, that's what this movie's about. And it's all about, the movie really isn't so much about what made Bob Dylan who he is. It's about what he did. Not necessarily why he's doing what he did, why he's doing what he's doing in the movie, or where he was headed or anything like that. It's about what he did during that time. And it's about creativity. And it's about really, to quote one of his songs, it's about getting busy being born instead of being busy dying, doing what you want to do and not really giving so much of a shit about what other people think of what you're doing. That's really what the movie's about. And it just does it so damn well. So I was wrong about that. I thought there was no chance in hell that I would actually enjoy a movie with Timothy Chalamet playing Bob Dylan, but I was dead wrong. So I do highly recommend you go see that movie. You don't have to know, this is what I was about to say, you don't have to know anything about Bob Dylan's career or his music to enjoy this film. And you may, quite likely, will walk away a Bob Dylan fan. Even though you don't hear Bob singing in the movie, you only think that's how great of a job Timothy does in this movie. It's just incredible. So go see that movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, the last time, I've changed my mind on a few things recently, which has been strange. I don't know if you've ever seen any of our SlapperCast episodes. Let's call them pastor casts. No, that sounds like I'm a priest. Anyway, I've been quite opinionated on some different topics, and I've had to kind of pull back on one of the bands that I never really listened to was Rush, and never, not saying anything about their playability, their musicianship, and they're obviously a phenomenal band. I don't believe the drummer's doing anything right now. Anyway, stop that. I saw this wonderful interview with Alex Lifeson of Rush, which I was just a partial. The proggy stuff when they get too twist and turn. I love twists and turns, but that's just a little bit too much for me. The 17 drum time signatures in a 3-second span is a lot for me. Phenomenal musicians, but I watched his Rory Gallagher. Rush opened for Rory Gallagher back in the day, and then when Rory came back back over stateside, he opened for them, and he was just talking about their wonderful camaraderie and how it reminded me, not that I'd ever need reminding anything good about Rory Gallagher, but it reminded me of how good a songwriter, how good a lyricist. Obviously his playing is, Rory Gallagher is easily one of the top. I'm actually going to push him up further. I'm going to say top 3 guitarists in all the world, right behind Rick Allen of Def Leppard and Liza Minnelli. But Rory's gentleness, Rory's his gentle soul, and then he'd be a ferocious player and such an amazing such an amazing lyricist, and the way that he put his he constructed his lyrics and all that stuff. Phil Lynott was a huge fan as well, which of course that goes without saying. We're massive Philo fans, but so I listened to I have listened to a few Rush songs, and I've kind of I like that one. But I really do. I like the ones that were a little bit more popular. I have a couple of LPs live. I've got an Exit Stage Left LP, and I've got something else. But I did listen to it, gave him another spin, and so kind of had to pull back on that a little bit. Had to enjoy that changed my mind. But and it usually is something like that. It's usually I listen to an artist that I've been less than pleasant to, and go, they got something there. So anyway, that was the last time I changed my mind on something like that. Also, a couple of weeks back, I had reached out. I don't know if you've seen it. You might not have seen it, but we've talked about Horslips on this show quite a lot. And if you don't know, we were in touch with a young fella named Stephen Ferris. He lives in Ireland, and we had the pleasure of meeting him on the last trip over. We met him in Letterkenny. He drove out to see us, and it was first time meeting him. We had spoken online a few times, and just turns out not only is he a Horsestory super fan, but he's also in touch with the lads as well. So it's been just a thrill. I owe him a phone call actually, and we'll be talking more about this. But I bring that up because on this trip to Ireland, we're aiming at meeting with, hopefully we're going to meet Stephen again, but also look into some Horslips. Well, anyway, I'm saying all this because I'd like to even put some clips in this episode. Why are we talking about them? Because such an influence and such groundbreakers, trailblazers. They are instrumental in the birth of and the creation of and the exporting Irish rock, to the world. So just their contributions have been nothing less than as instrumental as any of the Irish rock bands. And another one that I want to so I say that because we're trying to add something like that into this tour to where we can feature a little Horslips history. Horsestory, is that something? No. And then another band that I've really started digging back into was they were popular when I was a boy in Dublin. The Boomtown Rats. America would know them for I Don't Like Mondays, possibly Banana Republic, maybe a couple of others, but Bob Geldof is obviously the world famous for Live Aid, but he's also still he plays all the time. Tremendous writer, lyricist, and he has this great quote. He has this phenomenal quote, and I can't quote it, so I'm going to mess it up. But he did this. He was having an interview talking about Irish, pop stars, Irish rockers, all this stuff. He goes, they don't shut up, but they don't promote themselves. And I nearly fell off my chair because they don't ever shut up, but they're the worst. They prefer to just him and haw and whine rather than promote this. And I nearly fell out my chair because that's a blackguard trait if I ever heard one. So we come across it, and we come. I don't even know how. I don't know why, but that's an Irish trait. So anyway, that's cracked me up. Anyway, spinning here in and out of all different kinds of topics. But again, to push the Irish thing, the Irish tour, October 2025. We're going to have Doc back on here. We got a few updates, and we're going to have Doc on here, and hopefully, and I just look for. I don't know if you're on any of these social media shithole, these lovely social media platforms, but we will be releasing. We'll do the interview, but we're also going to have the clips throughout. So look for that, and I'm going to sign off because I have many, many, many things to not do today, and I've got to get to them rapidly. So I would like to thank our patient, Mr. Turbo, who's been battling many, many diseases, but this one in particular has been knocking him down. So Turbo, get better, and Chad, it's great not talking to you. Keep up the good work, and you can check Chad. Chad's got a it's called
Prodigious Saps.
It's on Grinder, and it's going to be outlawed here pretty soon when they find out about it. But hopefully you get to see a few clips of it before the hearing. And like I always say, no bodies, no evidence. So keep it up.
So I just wanted to congratulate SJC. They 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that they have innovation in the industry, they have inspiration in the industry, they have support in the industry, and they've done a lot of awesome things.
And for those the uninitiated listening, who are SJC?
SJC is the best drum company out there. So if anybody's interested in customized kits, they've got starter kits, they've got touring kits, they've got everything. And so you can check them out on sjcdrums.com. And you can see they've been a big supporter of Blaggards throughout its history.
Yep.
You can go onto their website and you can see some of the Blaggards drums on there, and you can see the kits they've made for us, and along with many other amazing artists, but they're good people.
Good. That's good to hear.
Just FYI too, but in case people don't know, that our relationship with SJC predates Turbo joining the band. Mike first found them, and they made a whole kit for him. Forget when that was. It was probably like 10 years ago now when that first happened.
Yeah.
Whatever that was. That beautiful.
Yeah, it might even been a little longer.
Guinness
it's been a while.
Kit he has. Yeah. And you've got, how many kits have you got from them now?
I have 4 kits from them.
Does that include the one in Ireland?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got one that lives in Ireland, which I still think that's just cool. So it has a home there. And then I have our Blaggards history, or the story of Blaggards kit. That's what it's called. And then I have one of their tour series kits, which I love those kits. Oh my God. They just sound so good. And those kits are just great right out of the box. I mean, they're just amazing.
Yeah.
And then I also have another custom kit, which is in our studio. Can't wait to start recording with it.
Yeah, man. Man, that was a hell of a show we did on Saturday.
That was fun.
When was the last time we played there? Was it last fall? Was it?
It's been half a year. It seems like it.
It's been probably 5 or 6 months at least, I think. I'm not really sure. But that was a return to form for Continental. Not that Continental has been like bad, but that was one of the best turnouts we've had there in a long time. And it was just very reaffirming. It's like, okay, cool. The Houston scene is still vibrant. It was that was really great. Luba did a fantastic job as usual on sound, and I guess that was the first time we performed there with Jeff and Frank on that particular stage. Not the first time we played with the two of them, but on that stage, that's the first time we've had 5 people. Well, those 5 people.
Yeah,
and they did great.
What was your favorite song of the night?
Man, that's tough. I did really enjoy Psycho.
Yes.
I when he came over, Patrick, I had forgotten that was on the set list. We don't often do that there at that show. We usually stick to the album material when we're playing at the Continental. But we did a very long set for one thing. But yeah, I forget what song we went into that, but we ended it and he came over to me and I was standing over behind him next to you by the drum kit. And he came over and we were sustaining the note of the previous song. And he goes, okay. And I waited until the note started dissipating a little bit. And then I started and he goes, thank you. Because he hates it when we come in too early. I always think it's good to kind of let things kind of settle before you're into the next song. But after we finished, you and I ran to the merch table, a couple minutes after we finished, and one of Preston's friends goes, man, but that was like a 3-hour and 15-minute show or something. I looked up, I was like, it was? I knew it was a long one, but at 3 hours, it didn't even occur to me that we went that long. It was great fun.
Yeah. I go, we're not stopping.
Yeah.
We're not stopping.
No,
so it's not, there's no break. This is not happening. I can just tell.
We used to do that there. And it is, my mom was complaining. It's like, y'all never stop when you play the Continental show anymore. And it used to be that we would get paranoid that people would leave. Because that is a thing at Continental. I think a lot of the regulars who go there are kind of trained for that. Although they're perfectly welcome to hang around because it's a bar. As long as there's people there, they will stay open serving drinks. But typically what happens when a show finishes at the Continental is just everybody would just leave. They're like, well, and they go on to either they go home or they go to the next bar. And in the early days, that would make us nervous. So we'd play like an hour, 90-minute set, and then we'd take a break to sell merch, whatever, and we come back and half the people would have left. I don't know if that's still the case, but we do like playing those long shows. I mean, there's something exhilarating about that, I think, about having it and building it up. And because when you're playing a set, there's this kind of art of building it up, and then, you insert the ballads and stuff in the strategic places, and then you ramp the energy up till finally you get to the end and you have this big bang finish. If you play 2 sets, you kind of have to do it all over again. Yeah. So it's different, and that's one of the things when we play in pubs, that's you kind of have to do that because you can't. Although we have done one huge long set in some of the pubs we've played at over the years, but typically it'll be at least 2 sets, more often 3, and that's a completely different kind of experience than playing. Yeah. At the Continental, which is in my mind is supposed to be like a concert. So that's one of the reasons why we don't stop.
Yeah. The pub shows or certain shows like that too, we're expecting people to rotate. You're expecting people to come and go because we're there for 4 or 5 hours. Exactly. So we're off and on for a long time, but these types of shows, it's ticket oriented. So it's right. They're coming.
Yeah. You kind of want to give them their money's worth,
Yeah. Yeah. It was great when we passed midnight and they were still just crushing.
That was the thing.
Let's go. Let's go.
They didn't leave. The audience did. I mean, some people left because my mom had to leave early because we went so long. She had to get back home. But there was still a really solid crowd there right up until the end. But as soon as we finished, the people who were, I guess people hung around for a bit. Yeah. But by the time we finished selling merch, like most everybody had left, I think, by that point. It was like a half an hour later or something like that. My brother and his friends were still there when I left. So because he's visiting from Austin, so I guess he doesn't get to see those guys very often anymore. My little brother is getting married in March. Big deal. My little brother, who is 28 years old now. Wow. What? That's how old I was. No, I was 27 when he was born, and now he's 28. It's like, what is going on? So anyway, Patrick is going to send us a segment, and there will be stuff in here. We don't know what he's talking about. I guess we'll find out. Oh, you've got an announcement for Ireland, right? You've got some family members coming.
Oh yeah,
with us to Ireland.
Yeah. I'm excited. So I've told everybody, or if you're first time listening, my twin brother's coming, and now it looks like my little brother's coming, and so we're gonna get all 3 of the brothers together, and it's gonna be mayhem and mischief. So we'll see what happens.
That's fantastic, man.
Yeah, I'm excited. So
I am too. Yeah, we had a couple of people tell us at the Continental Club that they were coming with us. Of course, we already know a lot of our core fan base. I feel weird calling them fans because we know them so well. I have a feeling that it was 2 years ago the tour sold out. I have a feeling that's going to happen this year too, probably within the next 3 or 4 months. It's just my guess. So I would recommend, if you want to come, you better sign up soon. This is going to be a really great one. And we are going on a southerly route this time rather than the north, but we are doing some things and hitting some spots that we haven't been to before. So there'll be the usual thing. I mean, we're going to be in Dublin, we're going to be in Galway, we're going to be in Cork, but there's a lot of other things going on that we haven't done. And that was it's always a thrill of me. I mean, I've been there 10 times now. And even last year, it was the first time we'd been to the north in quite a while, but it wasn't all north. We did south too. And we stopped at some spots I'd never seen before. And that's always great. Yeah, like what was it? Clonmacnoise Noise, which was something we did. We stopped at last year that wasn't even on the itinerary.
Oh yeah.
And that was really great. It was one of the coolest sort of historical site stops that we've done in Ireland. It's an old monastery, and I think in the center of the country.
Yeah, it was like in the middle when you cross.
Yeah, right. That's right, because we stopped there I think we were driving from Galway back to Dublin or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think this year,
like overall, the history, you're like, wait, what? Like, it's just, that'd be so cool to be able to like travel back in time. It sounds so childish when I say that, but you travel back in time and just witness and watch, like that would be just mind blowing. You know what I mean? Like, could you imagine those conversations being had and just how they think and just, man, no Google.
I know. Yeah, man. So yeah, Ireland, blaggards.com/Ireland is where you want to go. And you'll find the contact information there for our good friend Doc, otherwise known as Dennis O'Carroll, who runs Doc's Irish Tours. And give him a call or shoot him an email, and he'll get you set up. So,
yeah, and if anybody's single or solo and wants to come, let us know, because we do have some people who are also coming that way. And if they want to, bunk up with somebody or, as they see fit, we can connect you with people. So,
yeah.
You save a few bucks and, meet somebody new.
That's right.
You never know. Maybe you fall in love on Ireland. I don't know.
Yeah, it's happened.
It's happened. We've already had an engagement 2 years ago.
That's right. Yeah, but that's not even the first one that's happened over there on our trips. So anyway, yeah, so that's coming up, and please go and look at the information, the itinerary, and consider signing up. We do it every year, but every year is different. Every year, and as we always say, every year is better than any previous year. It always gets better. But anyway, yeah, we're just at the start of the year right now, so we are in the process of filling out our calendar. So do keep an eye on blaggards.com and all of our social places. There's one of the things I'm going to be doing today is getting caught up on some shows we've booked recently, which are not posted yet. We're going to be in Weston, Missouri next month for the first time. First time this year, but that's the first of at least 3 appearances there we have booked already. And we're going to be, what else is coming up? We're going up to, we're going to
the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's going to be in August, right?
Yep.
We're also going to be back in Wichita. I saw that Patrick just recently booked a Barleycorns gig in Wichita, Kansas. I guess maybe that's a show. We add Patrick's stuff to this, and we've got a full-length show, I think. Well, thanks, y'all.
You did it, man.
Thank you, and thank y'all, and thank you, Turbo. Thank Patrick, and thanks to rock and roll.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
Anyway, we thank you for listening to episode 309, SlapperCast, our weekly podcast with Blaggards, and look forward to seeing you. We're going to be in Beaumont week after next, and February we're slammed. February is back to the thing. So you're going to be hearing some new shit, a lot of new shit. So I don't know if you can see that. Thank you, Kate Scott. We're gonna get to it. And listen, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. And don't, please, whatever you don't subscribe. This also, here's another change of mind here. Last clip. Everybody like and subscribe. Who the fuck has time to subscribe to all this shit? Hey, tune in whenever you want. I don't care. We're just glad that you're here today.